Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in this video, we are going to building here one cool project using JavaScript. In this project, there have some multiple features like it can detect the face, it can detect the landmark, and also it can estimate the age and the gender of the person. And the last, it will also detect the expressions, the facial emotions of the person. So let's have a look at the demo first. Then we're going to discuss about that. How can you do it and how can you build it from the scratch? You can see here, this is the demo applications on the screen, and it also detect my face, also detect the landmark, and you can see here it estimated my age and also the gender. And in the bottom, you can see here the facial expressions. So let's say like that, sad, disgusted, or let's say angry. Okay, it also detect my facial expressions. Now in this tutorial, you're going to building this full application from the Askers using JavaScript. So without wasting any time, I'm going to start the tutorial now and jump on the VS Code. All right, guys. So right now I am in the VS Code and I get a folder on that. So what we are going to do here, first we're going to creating here one webcam using JavaScript. And after that, we are going to detect the face and also the landmark of the persons using JavaScript. Then further, what you can do, you can simply detect the age, gender, and also the facial expressions of the person. So without wasting any time, let's go on here. Just like the every web program, so we need one HTML file, we need one CSS file, and also the JS file. So for that, I'm going to click here and create here one index.html file and also style.css file. Okay, style.css, and also the script.js. Well, so our three file is created right now. So what I can do, you can simply do our boilerplate code for the HTML. So for that, simply use this one and enter. And this is nothing but my boilerplate code for HTML. So what we can actually do, we are going to create here one webcam. So for that, we need video, right? We need also one video. So we need one video tag in our index.html file. So first, you need to also add these, link these CSS file and also the script.js file in your index.html file. So for that, what you can do? You can simply use the skip tag. So skip tag and skip, and it will give here the source. So source should be my skip.js. This is skip.js, this one. So our skip tag, this JS file is right now linked on our index.html file. Then we're going to link our CSS file. So for that, you're going to use your link and you're going to use here the rel. So this rel is nothing but my style sheet, and we have our source. So we have our source. So our source is nothing but is one link. So that's why we can use here the href, and our href is nothing but my style.css. So this is my link, right? This is how we can add the style.css, linking, and also the script.js. So now our style.css file and also script.js file is added. So you can also go here and you can tick mark your auto save mode so that it can automatically save it. So if I try to go on here and open with live server, and it will open it in your default web browser. So this is nothing but one extensions in VS Code. Okay, so you can see a document. This is nothing but my name of the file. You can see document. So you can also install these extensions. You just need to go on here and you need to click here the live server. Okay, live server. It's not working in my case because my internet connection is not added right now. So when you type here live server, it will actually coming up, right? Maybe it will add it on here somehow. Yep, this one is called live server. Okay, so I'm going to actually close it right now. Okay, fine. So we add our style.css and also the script.js. So now what you can do, you can simply add here one video tag because you're going to creating here one webcam. So webcam is nothing but one video. So for that, we can simply use here the tag that's available inside my HTML that's called video, right? So inside that we need to also provide here one ID so that we can call this one inside our script.js file like document.get element by ID. So for that, I'm going to pass in my ID. So just give here one ID name. Let's call video, and we need to give here our width. So call width, width of the video. So let's give here 640 like the Python code also, and also give here the height. So let's say give here height should be 480, and also need to give here two attribute. The first attribute is something called auto play, so that it automatically play when you open the browser. So let's say auto play. So this is nothing but attribute, and also the muted, because in some browsers like Google Chrome or Brave, it will automatically mute this one by default. Let's say you are entering on website and automatically a video is popping up and also the sound. It's low odd, right? I think it makes sense to you, right? So in what kind of cases? So this time the video is automatically play. Okay, fine, but it should be muted. It should be muted. Now we can simply call this video tag inside our script.js file. So if I save it, it automatically save right now. And if I go on the open with live server, and again you can see here nothing is appeared on here. Nothing is appeared because we actually add here my video tag, but we don't call it in a JavaScript file. And also we need to create here one function so that it can access my default webcam. It can access my default webcam, right? So now what you can do, you can simply call this video tag, I mean this video ID inside our script.js file. So for that, what you're gonna do here, you can simply call document dot, because this is on ID. So document dot get element by ID, and I'm going to pass here my ID. So my ID is nothing but the video that's available inside my index.html file. So what I can do now, we can store it inside one variable that's called video. Simple. Then we can mark it as a constant because it's not changing. It's not changing the value, right? So then after that, what I can do, you can simply create your own functions. So when I call this function, it will automatically access my webcam. So let's say call, I'm going to add here on functions, and let's say I'm going to say that this is called, let's say webcam start, or let's say webcam, like that. So this is one functions. So we need to pass it the parameters. So because it's not actually taking the parameter right now, we simply call this one, I mean simply call this webcam, and after calling that, it will access the webcam, I mean default webcam. So default webcam is inside our navigator, and our navigator is calling our media devices. That's how many devices is available. Let's say I'm going to add here one extra webcam, so it will access these devices also. Then we need to add here my get user media so that it can access it. Now we're going to pass here some parameter on that. So first parameter is nothing but my video. So my video is nothing but true because we need the video, but we don't need the audio. We don't need the audio. So for audio, we can make it false. We can make it false. Simple. So in these cases, what you can do, you can simply remove this muted. If you need it, you can remove this because in our script.js file, how a navigator access the webcam, by default, it make the audio should be the false, right? So you don't need to put it here muted. By default, you can put it or it's up to you. So after accessing them, after accessing the media devices, so what I can do, we need to do the streaming, we need to do the streaming of the video. So then what I can do, we can streaming the video. So for that, I'm going to go, okay, this is taking one functions. So the function is nothing but callback function is stream, and I'm going to add here my callback functions. This callback function actually taking my video and my source object. Okay, this is my source object. So my source object is nothing but my stream. I mean this stream. That's it. Our stream is created. Now after creating the stream, so what I can do, if there any error, if there any error is happening up, so we can catch it. Like it's like the try and catch block, like exception handling. So simple. What I can do, we can simply again, we are going to taking my error, and we can simply call my callback functions, and then we can simply show it in our console.log. So console.log, I'm going to actually print it here in my JS file. So error, simple. That's it. Okay. Now what I can do, we can simply call this webcam functions. So let's call the webcam functions. So this is my webcam functions. So well, we create here the webcam. Now we are going to test it out. So for that, I need to go on the index.html file. And after that, I'm going to click it to open with live server. So our webcam access is allowed. You can see webcam access allowed, and also my webcam is open, but the video is not popping up here. So let's click on the right press on your mouse and go on the inspect so that we can see the error, what kind of error we actually got. So in the console, you can see here, uncaught. Okay, error is not defined. Means, oh my god, error is not defined. Okay, error. Okay, there should be error. Okay, that's why it's not called defined. Again, go to the live server and see. Uh, Again, it's not popping up. Again, go in inspect and see the error. Cannot set the properties of null string setting the source objects. Okay, it's not getting the source object correctly. Why? Because how I load this index.html file, it's by default give me the video objects as a null. I mean the source object as a null. So for that, we can what I can do, we can simply wait for a few seconds. We can wait for a few seconds, and after that, we're going to show the frame. So for that, we can use here the keyword that's called defer. We're going to use here the keyword called defer. Okay, now let's go on the open with live server. And let's check this out, it will open the webcam or not. Now, boom, it's open the webcam, right? So now what you can do, you can simply make it in the middle of the frame so that it's look better, right? So what can do, you can simply use display.flags in style.css file. Just go on here. Okay, just go on style.css file. So we are going to make our body, this is our actual body. I mean inside this body you have our video. So we can give here the margin should be the 0, and also give here the padding should be the 0, and also give here the width so that it can taking the full width of the frame. So let's call 100 bw, I mean 100 bw is the viewport width, and also give here the height. So let's say give the height should be the 100 view height. And now we can make the display should be flat so that we can make our element inside the middle of the frame. So display flags, and then you're going to add here the display justified content should be the center, and also the align item. So let's call align item, and it should be the center. That's it. That's it. Now if I can go here, just go on the live server, and now you can see simple this frame is right now in the middle of the full frame, right? Middle of the full frame. So you can add here, you can design it, you can add here some pictures on that, right? You can add here one text. So that's up to you. So now what you can do, you can simply detect the face landmark. But how can we do it? How can we do it? Yes, we can do it using face main JS API, also called the face API in JS. So all right, so right now I am in the GitHub repository for the face api.js, and this is one JavaScript API. Using this, you can detect the face and also the recognize the face in the browsers using Node.js and also the TensorFlow.js. So you can see here, it will actually support on face detections, gender recognitions, a face landmark, the emotion recognition, and also the age estimations. So if I go down, you can see here, this is nothing but my demo. So with person with landmark and also detections, you can see here the detection confidence and also the age, the gender, and also the expressions of the face, right? So this is how it will actually work. So we're going to actually using this one. We're going to using this library in order to detect the face landmark and also the face detections. And further, you're going to detect also the age and also the facial expressions. So what we need to do actually do, first you need to clone this repository, and after that you need to go on the dist folder, and inside this dist folder you need to copy these three files: face-api.js, face-api.js.map, and also face-api.mean.js, right? So then what I can do, we can simply uh, taking the weight from files and create one extra folder that's called model, and simply you're going to pass this all the weights. So this is nothing but pretend weight, or you can say pretend model, in order to detect the facial expressions and also the age and the gender. So now without wasting your time, I'm going to go on my BS code. So now you can see here I passed you the three files from the dist: face api.js, face api.js.map, and also the face api.mean.js. And also I create a folder that's called models, and inside that I passed all the models. I passed here all the models. Now what I can do, it can simply go on my skip.js file, and I'm going to call it from my model folder, right? So first what I can do, it can simply detect the face and also the landmark. So for that, you can use here a face API dot nets dot. First, we're going to load our the teeny face detections. If I go on here, You can see here, this is a face expression, this is face landmark, and if I go down again, you can see a teeny face detections. Okay, teeny face detector model. This is the weight for that. So we are going to load it from our model folder. So we are going to say that teeny face detector, and we are going to pass here inside our load model from URL. So we're going to pass a load, that's called from, it should be the URI, and we are going to pass here my actual path. So this file is available inside my model folder. So what can do, we can simply pass here the backslash models, right? So now we can access these model files from models from our models folder. Teeny face detector dot load from URI. We're going to pass here my models. So we're going to simply do it for the face landmark also. So if I again go inside this model folder, you can see here face landmark 68, 68 tiny model. So again, so face API dot nats, again tiny, not tiny actually, face, okay, face landmark, landmark. So we have the 68, so 68 net, simple, face landmark 68 net. Okay, net should be the n in the camel case letter, and again dot load from URI. We're going to pass here our model because this face landmark file is already available inside our model folder. Now, so when we load our webcam, I mean when we call our webcam, we need to also call this model file. I mean when the webcam is loaded or webcam is open, then we can access the model also, so that we can detect the face after accessing the webcam. So for that, we need to pass it inside on promises. So let's say promises, promise dot all, and inside that I need to give here as a list because there are so many files. So I'm going to cut this out, promises, and after promises, what I can do, we can simply start our webcam. So let's call then, and I'm going to pass here my webcam. So this is my webcam, simple. This is my webcam. You can make it like that. Okay, we got some error, so this is not, it should be comma, that's why this error is coming up. Okay, so you can also make these functions before this one, you can, before this one you can access it like that. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, now we promises all the files that we loaded from our model file. Now what I can do, we can add here one listener. That means when the video is clicked, I mean when this index.html file is loaded, then we can play the video automatically. So for that, we can add here one listener. So let's say I'm going to add here video.add event listener, and our event is nothing but call play. So this play will call one callback function. So this is one callback functions, right? So this is one callback functions. So when the function is called, we are going to create here one canvas. So using this, which one we are going to use it, the face API dot create canvas. I mean we're going to create here one canvas from media, because this actually, the camera is actually coming inside my navigator.media. So that's why we're going to create here on canvas. We're going to create here on canvas inside our face API. Now in our canvas, we are going to pass here our video. So that's going to pass here our video. Okay. Then we're going to store it inside one variable that's called canvas. Let's call canvas like this way, canvas. Okay, and after that, what I can do, we can simply append it inside our body, because this video tag is available inside my body tag. So then what I can do, we can actually add it, document.body.append. We're going to simply append it, right? After appending it, we're going to add here one set interval so that it can wait for a few seconds. This is on asynchronous functions. So we're going to append our canvas. Well, now what we can do, we can add here one set interval function. So this is also one callback functions. So what can do, we can add here on callback functions like this way. Then after that, we are going to pass here. Okay, this is not like that. This is one callback functions. And after that, we are going to waiting for few seconds. So this is one async function, right? So let's say we're going to make it should be async. This is one asynchronous functions. Then also we need to give here the interval that, so we're going to give here the, let's say 100. So for 1 milliseconds it will waiting, and after that it will actually also access the webcam. It will detect the face landmark, right? Then what I can do, we can simply create here one detection so that it can detect the face landmark from the canvas. So for that, what we can do, we can simply use here the face API, this face API, and dot detect, simple detect detect all faces. If it have the two faces in the frame, it can detect the two faces also, that's the faces. And then we are going to pass here our video and also my detector, right? So you're going to pass here our video and also my detector. So you need to use here the new keyword. So it should be the face API dot tiny, because this is one tiny face detector. So you're going to pass here my tiny face, this one tiny face detector, detector, and this is what options, tiny face detector options. And inside these options we have the landmark. That's mean after detecting the face, we can detect the landmark. So what can do, we can simply pass here with face landmark, right? With face land marks, simple. Now we can detect the landmark, simple as it is. Again I repeat here. So when the webcam is accessed, we are going to load the model inside our model folder. And after that, we are going to create here on event so that it can call the video tag. And after actually adding the listener, we are going to create here one canvas so that we can pass it above my frame of my face so that it looks like the landmark is created. And then we're going to add here one set interval. That's mean it will waiting for a few seconds. And after that, we're going to loading our webcam. Now we our detect our faces. So we're going to detect the faces from the videos, right? So what kind of faces? First, we're going to detect the face and also the landmark. So that's why face API dot tiny face detection options, and we're going to pass here the with face landmark. Now it will detect the face landmark. If you're trying to detect the ace, simply you can say add here with ace gender, like that. Simple as it is. Simple as it is. Now we are going to store it inside one variable, right? So let's say call detections, and let's make it constant because it's not changing it, right? Okay, constant detection is the face API detect all faces in the path here my video and also my landmark. Now what I can do, we can simply print these detections. So for that, what you can do, you can say that console.log, we can simply print the detections. If there are any error or not, we can check this out that is really working here or not. So for that, what I can do, you can simply save it and go on the index.html file, and I'm going to run the code from here. Okay, so now I'm going to go on here and open with live server and check this out, it will opening or not. Okay, it's not accessing the webcam, but why it's not accessing? Okay, we forget to link here our face API main.js, so that's why it's not loading up. So I'm going to add here my script tag, and inside that I'm going to add here my source, and my source is nothing but my face API main.js. And what I can do, I can simply add here the defer keyword. So let's get defer. Okay, now if I am trying to go on my browsers, so this is my browsers, but it will open the webcam, but the problem is here. It's scary, right? So let's go on the inspect and see the error. Okay, it said the uncaught in promises. Okay, intermediate value is the face landmark. It's not a functions. Okay, got it. It's not a functions. So let's go on here. This is not a function. So I think we don't mistake because this is the not a functions. Okay, this is one extensions. instance of the tiny face landmark. That's why this error is coming up, right? So let's go on here. Now let's see, and again reload it. Okay, now it's look good. So now go on inspect and check this out. It will load the landmark. Yep, you can see here it load the landmark. It load the landmark. You can see here some landmark values appear on here. I mean no error. I mean no error right now. So now what you can do, you can simply uh, draw the landmark in the face so that it can visible. So what can we do now? We are going to add it. We're going to draw it, the landmark in our faces, right? So what can we do right now? So we can draw it using the face API. So for that we're going to using this our the face API called face API dot. We're going to add here draw it. So for that it should be the draw dot draw detection. So first you need to draw the detection point, and after that we can detect the face landmark. So for that we are going to use here the face detections, I mean draw detections, and we're going to pass here my canvas. So this is my canvas. So this is my canvas, and after that I'm going to pass here my detections. So this is my detections, right? And then what I can do, you can simply use here the face API dot draw dot draw. This is nothing but called face landmark. Let's call face land. This should be the mark. Okay, it's possible to have a body tag. Okay, it's automatically run because auto save mode is right now on. So that's why I'm going to make it close so that we don't get this kind of pop-up menu again and again. So I'm going to pass here my canvas. So canvas and also my detections, right? And pass here the detections. So that's it. We pass here my detections and also the landmark. So now if I'm trying to save it, just save it, and also try to going to go in here, save it, and also the style.css. And now if I go on here, and now you can see the landmark is detected, but the problem is it's not show this up in my face, and also the canvas is showing up and it looks so odd. So what can we do right now? We can handle it. We can simply handle it. So how can we handle it? So let's try to go on the abs code again and try to check this, how can we actually handle it. So in order to handling this one, so what I can do, we can draw the simple landmark on our canvas. So for that we can add here the canvas. So it should be the canvas dot get context. We're going to add the context. So this is one 2D surface. So we're going to add the 2D dot. We're going to add here my clear rectangle. I mean just one simple rectangle on my 0 cross 0 positions. And then I'm going to add here my canvas dot height. First you need to give here the canvas dot width, and then you can pass here my canvas dot height. So let's give it here height. So now let's check this out, that is really working here or fine or not. So let's go on here, let's save it now, Control S, and go on here, and now check this out. Okay, okay, you can see here this is my face and also the landmark. I can see. So if I go here like that, so you can see here the landmark. If I can hide the glasses, that's not a problem. It also did a landmark, but the problem is this landmark is not I mean it's not in my faces. So what can it could do? We can simply do some styling and make the position should be as absolute so that it come on my frame, right? So now it looks good, right? It cracked my face. That's really good, right? So what I can do, we can simply go on the style.css, and we can make our canvas, and we can make our canvas, okay, canvas, no, not canvas. And we can make my canvas should be position should be absolute. Position should be absolute. Again, Aja, absolute. Now let's save it and go in here. Now see, boom, it detect my face and also the landmark. See. This is how it will actually work, right? But the problem is it cannot detect here properly, right? So we can also resize it, but I don't think that we need to resize it here. It looks pretty better, right? But we can resize it. We can resize it based on the frame. If you're giving here a big kind of frame, we can also resize it based on our canvas. So we can also do it. So let's see this out. How can we actually do it? Let's cover this up. Then we jump to the age and gender and also the facial expressions. This one again. So okay, so all right. So now what I can do, we are going to resize the window based on our video with the height and also the canvas. So for that, what I can do, we can simply use here our face API, and we are going to match the dimensions based on our video width and the height. So for that, you are going to using the function that's called match dimensions. Okay, this should be the match dimensions, and we're going to pass here our canvas, and we're going to pass here my height and the width as a dictionary. So let's say I'm going to pass here my height. So the height is nothing but my video dot height, and my width is nothing but my video dot width. So this should be the width, and width is nothing but my video dot width. This width. Well, so now what I can do, we actually match the dimensions based on our video width and height. That's when you're going to resize the canvas. You're going to resize the canvas. Now, after resizing the canvas, we need to also resize here our detections. We need to also resize our detections. So for that, what I can do, we can simply call here the face API dot resize. So this is nothing but one result. So this should be the resize results, and you're going to pass here my detections. So detection this one, and then I need to pass here my video width and the height in a dictionary format. So for that, I need to pass here height equal to video dot height, and this should be the height, and the width should be the video dot width, this one. Okay, that's it. So this is how you can resize the your result. Now I need to store it inside one variable. Let's say const, let's say resized window, like that. Okay, resize window equal to face API dot resize results and detections, and I'm going to pass here this resize window inside my detections. Now it's good. Now let's save it, and also save it, and go on the index.html file, and I'm going to open with live server. Now let's check this out. It will opening here or not. Okay, it's opening the webcam, and it also detect here my landmark. There's been no error. If you increase the length, I mean the width and the height of your video, it will automatically change the landmark based on your video size, right? So now what we can do, we are going to access, we actually already access the webcam, also detect landmark, but we need to detect here the facial expressions and also the age and the gender. So for that, what I can do, we can simply load it from my model folder. So for that, what I can do, we can simply copy this one. Before one thing, so when you are trying to detect your facial expressions, you need to also load here your face recognition net, because this face expression is working based on the face recognition. So for that, I'm going to use here my face recognitions net. Okay, face recognize. Okay, it should be the recognition net. So this is okay, it should be the nations. Okay, that's cool. Then we have our face expressions and also the gender. So this should be the face expression net. Okay, this is not name, it should be the net. This should be the net, and also this should be the net. So I'm going to change it recognition to the expressions, and another one is called the age and the gender. So it could be the with is gender, age and gender, with is gender, like that, with, okay, it not be the with, it should be the age gender net, like that. Okay, now it's working fine. Let's check this out, any error not. Okay, no error. Age gender net. If I go on the arrow tab, inspect, inspect. Let's see, is there any error or not? Go on the console. Okay, no error. That's fine. I mean, it's loaded correctly. So let's save it now also, and also save it. And let's go on here so that we can confirm it. Okay, we can confirm it. Okay, no error. Okay, cool. So we load our model correctly. Now, first we're going to detect the expressions. So for that, what I can do, we can simply copy this out, and we're going to draw the expressions. So face expressions, and also we need to initialize it in our tiny face. So the first, let's format this document. Okay, we're going to add here the with face expressions. Okay, like this way. And now I'm going to save it, and I'm going to go on here and go on here. Okay, now let's check this out. I did detect the face expression correctly or not. Okay, see, it will detect the face expression correctly. Boom. Really very boom. And you can see neutral. It's look angry. Okay, it's working really fine. So this is how the face expression actually work. See, in the go down. Okay, let's go on here. Neutral, neutral, disgusted or angry, like that. So the expression is also working fine here. So now what we can do, we can now simply um, detect the age and gender. So for that, what we need to do, we need to go on the script.js file again, because the age and the gender, both one is string and another one is integer. So for that, what we're going to do here, we're going to access it from my detection below, and based on the detection, I'm going to create here one box. And inside this box, I'm going to say that this person is uh, 25 years old and the gender is male, like that one. So for that, I'm going to pass here one code, because this video is quite long and it take more than 2 hours to record this, because sometimes my video is crashed, sometimes my recording phone, actually my microphone is not working, sometimes the electricity is gone, so that's why it takes so many amount of time. So I'm just going to pass here one simple code. Okay, so I'm going to paste here one code. So this is the code, simple code as it is. And you can say detections, and let's format it out. Okay, you can see detections. We are going to take in the detection from here. Now, based on the detection, we are going to create here a box, because we are printing here the detections of the age and also the gender, because it's not available inside this draw age with gender function. That's why you need to make it for the custom one. So this is how you need to do it actually. You can also do it for the face expression also. So you can see here, we actually create one box, and you're going to draw the box using the face API, and you're going to simply pass it inside my canvas, because this is this face expressions, the face detections is actually working in the canvas. So now if I'm trying to save it and go on here again, save it, and just go on here and check this out. Let's see it is working or not. So you can see a 9-year-old undefined. That's mean the model is loading correctly, this box is also working, but it's not, it's this age and gender is not coming up. Why? Because we need to also initialize it here. So for that, we need to use here dot with that should be the age and gender. Okay, now maybe it will work, maybe or sure. Again, need to save it. Okay, now just wait for a few seconds. Yep, now you can see a 25 years old. Okay, and male. I mean, age is actually, it's sometimes it's not stable because it is real time, but the gender is detected correctly. Okay, and you can see here also the expressions. So let's check this out for another pictures. So let's check this out for a female one, so that we can check that, we can show that it is really working for the gender one. Okay, I'm going to show the picture of such a couple. So let's see. Okay, come. Okay, it said 23 years old in female. I mean, the Gender is working fine, but is just going up and down. Okay, but this is really working fine. So this is how you can deal with JavaScript. How can you detect the face landmark? How can you actually estimate the age and also the gender and also the facial emotion, or you can say facial expressions. So that's it for today now. Hope you enjoy this tutorial, and make sure to subscribe to the channels and also share with your friends that knowledge doctor is making some video school projects using JavaScript. Okay, so thank you. Bye bye.